Welcome back to the Revenge Chronicles, the place where real stories of betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revenge come to life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss what happens next in today's story. Now, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is something I never imagined could happen in my own family. My mother chose my sister over me, so I made her regret it. Tell me, if your own mother looked you in the eyes and told you that you were never her priority, would you forgive her, or would you make her feel the pain she made you live through? Because that's exactly what I had to decide. And trust me, it's not as simple as it sounds. I grew up in what people called a perfect family from the outside. 2 loving parents, a pretty little house, and 2 daughters. Me, the eldest, and my sister, Lily, the golden child. My mom, Angela, was the kind of woman everyone admired. Beautiful, graceful, always smiling at church, baking cookies for neighbors, pretending she had everything under control. But behind those smiles was a woman who made me feel invisible. From the moment Lily was born, I stopped being her daughter and became just someone who lived in her house. I remember I was 6 when Lily arrived. Mom used to braid my hair every morning before school, and she'd whisper, "You're my sunshine." The day Lily came home from the hospital, she didn't say it again. Not once. Suddenly, every ounce of affection, every gentle touch, every word of pride, it all belonged to Lily. I was just the big girl, the helper, the responsible one. I told myself it was normal, that parents just get busy. But as years passed, it became painfully clear, my mom didn't see me the same way anymore. Whenever something went wrong, it was always my fault. Lily would spill juice on the couch, Mom would yell at me for not watching her. Lily would forget her homework, Mom would scold me for not reminding her. Birthdays were the worst. Lily's parties looked like something out of a fairy tale. Mine? Just a store-bought cake and an awkward happy birthday before everyone left the table. My dad tried to balance things out, but he worked long hours. He was my safe place, the only person who noticed my drawings, my grades, my small victories. But when he passed away from a heart attack when I was 15, everything broke. That's when Mom stopped pretending she cared about me at all. After Dad's funeral, I expected comfort from her, maybe even a hug. But she barely looked at me. She was too busy holding Lily, crying into her hair, whispering, "It's okay, baby, Mommy's here." I stood there, frozen, thinking, what about me? Wasn't I her child too? That moment carved something deep inside me. A mix of anger, grief, and longing that never really healed. As time passed, the differences between us became harder to ignore. Lily was the golden girl, pretty, popular, effortlessly charming. I was the quiet one, the bookworm, the one who stayed home and helped Mom pay bills while Lily got to live her life. I worked part-time in high school to keep the lights on because Mom said she couldn't handle things alone. Meanwhile, Lily got her first car for her 17th birthday. Paid for by Mom. By the time I turned 18, I was done. I got accepted into a college out of state, and I thought maybe, finally, I could escape the constant feeling of being unwanted. But when I told Mom, she didn't congratulate me. She frowned and said, "Who's going to take care of the house when you're gone?" I remember staring at her, realizing she didn't want me to succeed, she wanted me to stay trapped. That night, I packed my bags and left anyway. She didn't even come to the door to say goodbye. College was the first time I felt free. I built my own life, got scholarships, worked 2 jobs, and graduated with honors. I barely talked to Mom during those years, except for short, awkward phone calls on holidays. Every time we spoke, she only ever talked about Lily, her new job, her boyfriend, her vacations. It was always Lily this and Lily that. I learned to stop expecting her to ask how I was doing. Then one day, after years of silence, I got a call from her. Her voice sounded shaky. "Sweetheart," she said, "I need your help." I'll admit, part of me felt a spark of hope. Maybe she missed me. Maybe she finally realized how unfair she'd been. But no, she needed money. She told me Lily had made some bad choices. She'd fallen into debt, and Mom was desperate to help her. She asked if I could send her $5,000. 5,000. I laughed, half disbelief, half anger. I had just started my career, I wasn't rich. I told her I didn't have that kind of money. She snapped, "You're selfish. You've always been jealous of Lily." That's when it hit me, nothing had changed. Even after all these years, I was still the villain in her story. That night, I sat on my apartment floor, shaking with rage. I'd spent years building myself from nothing while Lily was being bailed out again and again. Mom had never once asked about my struggles, my dreams, my happiness. But now she had the nerve to call me selfish? That's when the idea started forming in my mind, a plan. I wasn't going to yell, I wasn't going to cry. I was going to make her see what she had done. Months passed, and I started gathering pieces of the puzzle. I learned that Lily wasn't just in debt, she was involved in something shady. She'd been using Mom's name to take out credit cards and loans. Mom had no idea. I could have told her, I could have saved her, but I didn't. I watched it unfold quietly. I wanted her to see what blind favoritism costs. So that's the situation I was in. I had a choice: protect my mother, the same woman who had spent years choosing my sister over me, or let her face the reality she created. Before I tell you what I did next, I want you to pause and tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? Would you have saved her, or would you have let her learn the hard way? A few weeks later, Mom called again, crying this time. "They're taking the house," she said. "Lily lied to me. She used my name. I don't know what to do." There was a strange satisfaction in hearing her voice crack. But I wasn't heartless. I met her at her house, a place that once felt like home but now looked smaller, sadder. She looked older, worn out. When she saw me, her eyes filled with tears. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. I wanted to believe her, but I could see the same thing in her eyes, the desperation to fix what Lily broke, not to mend what she broke between us. She begged me to help her, to talk to the bank, to cover the payments. I could have done it. By then, I had a good job, savings, stability. But I didn't. Instead, I told her, "You always said Lily was your pride and joy. Maybe she'll find a way to save you." She flinched. "Please," she whispered, "she's gone. She left town." I looked at her for a long time before saying, "Now you know what it feels like to be left behind." For months after that, she tried to reach me, but I ignored every call. I focused on my life, my career, my peace. I heard from distant relatives that she had to move into a small apartment, that Lily never came back, that Mom spent her days working part-time jobs just to survive. It sounds cruel, I know. But every time I thought about the years I spent begging for her love, I reminded myself, she made her choice long ago. Then, one evening about 2 years later, I got a letter. A handwritten one. It was from Mom. I almost threw it away, but something stopped me. The letter wasn't long. She apologized, really apologized, for the first time. She wrote, "I see now that I was unfair. I thought loving one child more meant protecting her. I didn't realize I was losing you in the process. I wish I could take it back." I cried reading it. Not because it fixed anything, but because, after all these years, she finally acknowledged what she did. I didn't respond right away. I took my time. Eventually, I went to see her. She looked fragile, but when she saw me, her face lit up like I was still her little girl. I sat across from her and we talked. Really talked. About Dad, about Lily, about everything. She told me Lily had never apologized, never reached out. She said, "I guess she was the reflection of my mistakes." Did I forgive her? Maybe not completely. But I let go of the anger. I realized revenge doesn't always mean destruction. It can mean letting someone face their truth, letting them feel what they once made you feel. And in her case, she had felt the pain of being abandoned by the very person she chose over me. That was enough. Still, sometimes, when I think back to the little girl sitting alone with a store-bought cake while her sister's laughter filled the house, I wish things had been different. I wish she had loved us equally. But life isn't fair, and some people only learn through loss. So, what do you think? Was I wrong for letting her suffer the consequences of her own favoritism? Would you have helped her, or would you have done exactly what I did? If you were on my side, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Revenge Chronicles for more real stories like this one. And please, share your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know how you would have handled this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all in the next story.